December 5, 2008, Monroe County hosting Fort Campbell, semifinals of the state playoffs.
And that's just unprecedented. Everything just had to fall in place for that to happen, though. But it did.
Coach Pettit described it last night as being an odd year, or excuse me, an even year, 2008. The even region is hosting, Monroe in Region 2, hosting the semifinals of the state. Monroe got here by defeating Fort Knox 48-7, Bardstown 45-14, and Greene County 14-13. The other Falcons here tonight from Fort Campbell in the playoffs, they defeated Heath 71-14, Murray 47-0, and Owensboro Catholic 48-35. Both teams with identical 12-1 records, and one of them will win the semifinal and advance on to the championship game to be played next Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky. And hope it's a good one, Bob. Should be.
Yeah, there's a nice sign up out at, I think, at the county extension office out there. It said, "Sorry, Pizza Hut, but we're going to Papa John's." That's, I don't know who thought that up, but it was a dandy. And even the guys here from Fort Campbell, they even thought it impressed of it too, because I heard them talking about it.
We'll take a 3-minute break, come back and hear Bob Adele's interview with Coach Knuckles again.
Yep, all the way to Papa John's, me and him.
Coach Randy Knuckles, you're listening to Monroe County Falcon football. Turner and Clint Jenkins, the captains tonight for the Monroe County Falcons. Have they tossed it, or they're hitting Clint on the shoulder as if we have won the toss. I would imagine we will receive. They're lining everyone up to give that signal. So the Monroe County Falcons will have the first shot at moving the ball tonight. They will be receiving on the west end of the field, moving toward town. And a good crowd out on the field for the run through. The Falcons gathering in the end zone to our left. So we're here just a few minutes at lunch. Bob Ronnie said that the field froze last night because it's very cold tonight. It's going to be frozen out there tonight, isn't it?
I was out on it when I got over here early, John, and it was crunching. I mean, the grass was crunching under your feet, so it's definitely, and you can't worry about being muddy when it's froze, so it's don't have to worry about that.
No mud tonight.
No. But there is a crowd here, John. Look at the people on out there.
Yeah.
You're looking at 200 or 300 there, and Campbell's got a man out there, 20 down here for their tunnel. But it's a tremendous crowd. I just kind of looked up here while I was letting it play there, and it's what it's about. I was talking to some of the old mid-cap coaches, our Freddie down there, and I told them we ain't used to playing this kind of weather like that. And of course they played last year, but in the later game, but still wasn't this late though. Was it? This is the championship
I believe
game.
We started a week late. Usually the state championship is this first weekend in December. And they started the season a little bit late. I don't know if they did that because of the heat. But
they sure pushed it the other way though.
You have to deal with the cold. It's colder than normal than this year. Falcons already out on the field, still 1:16 on the clock. When we say Falcons, we're going to mean the Monroe County Falcons
they know what
tonight.
we're talking about. They'll be Fort Campbell. We'll just go that way. But I did look at the flag, John, and it's just limp. There's no wind, even if it is, it's not blowing that flag. And I get it. Scotty says it might be froze, but it's good. It's a good thing. It is cold out there. I think it's maybe 20, 21 degrees to set up on town and on the banks, and she's ready to get underway here in about 40 seconds. And
we'll get Russ to give us the quarter, maybe a halftime temperature, see how it is out there. Caleb Maxey in the middle deep. On the far side, Tanner Kendall. And on this side, Neil Wilson. It's the Falcons to our right. They'll be going right to left and have the first shot with the ball tonight. Matt Lassiter, the kicker for Fort Campbell. He's 6'2", 155-pound junior.
You didn't have an extra in there, did you, John?
I only got one. Their stat man may have an extra one, Bob. I think he had some, but I only got one.
Just want to hope I ain't using them a lot, but I more than likely will. I'll have to write some scores down and stuff. So,
Bowman, Carter, Rich, Davis, and Prophet across the front. And at the 30, that's Garrett. Not sure who those other two are at the 30. They line up from the right hash over. They have no one over on this side on the sideline.
Well,
That looked like it's
going
going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, they've caught that at the 30. And I'm not sure he tried to do that, John, because he kicked that. It looked like it just got out there and went left. So we'll take it at the 35. Is that right?
Maybe the first effects of the cold weather. Falcons will begin the first drive of the night at the 35-yard line. Thought he said we were going to let Caleb pack it on the first play of the game tonight. Nothing real razzle-dazzle. Caleb is going to be alone in the backfield. I believe, seemed like Coach Pettit said last night he may have been moved up a little bit closer to Harlan off the left tackle. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And as Coach Pettit mentioned last night, Fort Campbell, they load up the line. They run 6 and 7 men on the front line. 4 are already down. We'll see how many join them. Harlan came over near the sideline to get his play as we're underway in this Class 2A state semifinal game. Corbin and Newport Central Catholic playing at Corbin tonight. Maxey stands to the left of Harlan in the shotgun. Wilson and Kendall the wings. Hand it to Wilson. He's coming around the left side. He will get a couple that look like a face mask. I don't know if we've got a flag. They put the hand right across the front of Neal's headgear.
Well, this ref was behind it, and this one here was way down the field. But got 5 out of it.
No flag. Right in front of the Monroe County bench.
That's
they were warning.
Well, they must have been in the stands, too, if you could hear the
roar.
The roar.
Yep. We've played less than a minute. Falcons with the first possession of the night. Kendall goes in motion. Fake it to him. Harlan wanting to throw.
Oh, he got bumped.
Incomplete, intended for Maxey down about the 45-yard line. Would have been enough for a first down. It's incomplete.
Oh, he got bumped there, did he?
Monroe will punt. Garrett Lyon. Not a great night punting last week. Hopefully this cold weather won't affect the punting. We're going to need some good punting to get some good field position tonight. Is that 21 or 22, Bob? Is it Durante? He's like 20-something. Lyon, end over end. They let it hit. It rolls out of bounds.
Ooh, I'd like to hit
inside
that Campbell
the 30.
Player. Almost hit him, didn't he?
So the Falcons will go on defense. 11 minutes to play in the first quarter. Fort Campbell begins their first drive at between the 28-29 yard lines. Call it the 28. Back of the ball touching that.
Did you have Harlan's out there, John? He's playing a
safety, yeah. Plus
I don't know whose place he's in.
Eaton's out there.
Well,
there's Profit. We'll pick out who he went in for. Andrews by himself in the shotgun. 2 right, 3 left. They bring one in motion, fake it to him. Andrews going to run it right up the middle. He's brought down short of the 35-yard line by Mikkel High.
Oh, there's a big hole there, John. I don't know where everybody went, but as many yards as he's rushed for, we definitely can't give him that kind of hole, though.
Andrews is 6 foot 175, a junior. He's rushed for 1,512, and he's thrown for 1,390, so quite an impressive total offensive number. 34-yard line, second down. Fort Campbell needs about 4. Monroe will give it to them.
Yeah, we've got 5 there. It was big time. We anticipate. That's just them jitters, John. It's just
guess he's going to turn Neal loose on that because he was over here on the end and
but you
went
can't,
offside.
You can't go to that ball's moved, though. Can't listen to that quarterback.
They gave him 6 yards. It was on the 34. It's on the 40, 1st and 10. But Fort Campbell running back to the right. He has the handoff for the short game. Breon Moreno. Spotted on the 42-yard line. Fort Campbell will not huddle. They go straight to the line. Fort Knox did that. Back to the right of Andrews is Moreno.
Well, we've done it
jump
again.
offside again. That's
Golly,
wide.
guys. We're just over anxious.
You don't see that a lot when the quarterback's in the shotgun. A lot of times that's the quarterback's under center. Mark it up to the 48-yard line.
That's just nerves and being there, John. That's just too anxious. And
no score, 9:40. We're in the first quarter. 2 offside penalties in the first drive. Fort Campbell, the back is moved to the left of Andrews. They sweep it that way. Quarterback will keep it. He's across the 50. That will give him a first down. He's going to be in Monroe County territory. It'll be 1st and 10 for Fort Campbell at the Monroe 49-yard line. Fort Campbell looks to the sideline. Coach Pettit talked last night about the count up here, the men, our men, where we have most on which side of the ball, and they try to run that way, calling their plays from the line. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Give it to the Moreno up the middle. He breaks the line, 40, 35, brought down around the 32-yard line. Moreno,
couple about a yard 2 gain there, had a good, I couldn't see who it was, but had a good lick at him, but missed him though, and he got a nice gainer out of it.
Moreno's also a junior, 5'10", 165. So 32-yard line, 1st and 10, Fort Campbell. Andrews has been in the shotgun. Moreno is at his left. The 3 receivers are to the left. We jump again. He flips his hands. We shouldn't be looking at that. We should be looking at the ball. No penalty called on that one. Quarterback keeps it. Now pitches, bobble, but brought in. And a nice play by Harlan to bring him down to the 35-yard line.
See, there was almost the break that we needed to, John. I mean, he just bobbled it in the air and come back down with it.
J.D. Irvin, the ball carrier. Lost back to the 35, bring up 2nd down. Clock approaches 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. 0-0. Ball on the left hash. They send the 3 receivers right and 1 to the left. The 5 down lineman. Andrews throwing, tipped and incomplete. Profit diving for it. I guess
and
it
Kendall,
was,
if he hadn't have tipped it, I think Kendall had it, John. But then, because he was lined up for it, the straight in ball, but the guy tipped it and went over his head then, and that's when Profit was diving at it. But
Trey,
them breaks is going to happen here in a minute. That's 2 almost.
Trey Powell, the intended receiver. Trevor Whitty replaced Bowman at the right defensive end. 2 backs on either side of Andrews. He's sweeping or rolling to his right side. That pass is complete.
That ain't a first down,
and
though.
Out of bounds. A little bit short of the 25.
But I'm sure they'll go on it here.
Let's see, it was a 23-24 caught it, Bob. They're both.
I don't know. 4th and what, 3? Yep, that's what Scotty's got up there. So here's a big one, John. Of one of many, I'm sure.
Coach Rippey said 4. That would be Allen, Chris Allen. I thought it was either 23 or 24 that caught it. 4th down, they need about 3. Andrews, now the line, they're all talking to each other. We need to stay on side. Andrews flips those fingers. He looked left, now rolls back to the right, has number 23. We will bring him down. Well, that should be short. That's Trey Powell.
Yeah, he's got to get to the 20.
Falcons will take over on downs. Powell short of the first down. The defense holds. 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Clock is running with no score. Falcons take over. Clock stopped at 7:25 now with 20 on the 23-yard line of Monroe County. Backs in the eye behind Justin Harlan. Wilson to the left, Welch to the right. Second back through is Kendall. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 40, 30, 25, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Tanner Kendall. I heard Jason Grissom ask Coach Pettit if he's going to run second back through. He just ran second back through, and Tanner Kendall has taken it all the way. 77 yards for the sophomore. Coach Pettit says, settle down. Second back through worked over that left tackle. Ordinarily, that left side, I didn't see if we had a tight end or not. Ordinarily, that left side is occupied by Brad Cornelius and Clint Jenkins. 7-13, first quarter. Monroe County up 6-0, and Justin Carter will try to make it 7-0.
You know, that last week, like it was a big one, so we hope we can hit these things through.
Good snap and hold. The kick
looked
is
well.
no good. I think it was this side left. It's hard to tell which way they go from up here, left or right.
I was thinking, see if that guy's thinking catch him, but the angle he had, he didn't gain on him. After the angle was done away with, he couldn't gain on him.
Was it 18? I couldn't tell what was it, 18 that tried to cut him off? No, they don't have an 18. I don't know who it was, but he didn't get the job done. Tanner did, carrying it in from 77 yards out. The Falcons lead it 6-0. Well, we scored on the first play of our second drive. We didn't quite score on the first play of the game. Garrett Lyon kicking off, lines it up on the right hash.
I reckon he's lined it up at Coach Pettit.
He's kicking to the left. It's fielded at the 22-yard line. Brought up the middle. 45-yard line brought down by Profit and
that's good.
11 Wilson.
Excellent field position again, though, John. That's
Trey Powell.
Didn't hardly get that enough to the left where he wanted it over there.
Trey Powell returned it to the 47. Fort Campbell will have it with 7:06 to play in the first quarter. Monroe leading 6-0. Andrews and all the other Fort Campbell Falcons looking over to the sideline for the play. Moreno in the backfield. He moves over to the left side of Andrews. Two receivers left and right. Andrews fakes and keeps it up the middle. He's across the 45, 40.
And he's gone.
A block in the back. He could be gone. He started a little bit to the left, cut it back to the right, and once he broke the line, that was it. Antonio Andrews. That's a 53-yard run for Andrews, and he ties the score at 6.
53.
6 minutes, 55 seconds to play in the first quarter.
What number was he?
1. That's 6, the kicker. The Allen Johnson. Snap. Kick is up. It is good. That's 16. Fort Campbell takes a 7-6 lead. Matt Lassiter added the extra point. Well, the speed and the firepower, that 6-0 lead didn't last long. Mr. Andrews, let's see, he's run for over 23 rushing touchdowns. We let Rocky Garrett, or Rick, I guess it was, ran the 2 long touchdowns last week from his tailback position in the second half.
That's just almost.
Andrews has hit us tonight. Fort Campbell, well, they tee it up in the middle of the field. It's Lassiter. They do not put anyone to the right of the right hash. Number 6 is on the right hash. And they really just have one on the outside of the hash on the far side. They concentrate on the middle of the field. They may spread out after it's kicked. Maxey, Kendall, and Wilson are deep. Kicked high. Kendall will come up to field it at the 20-yard line. Dropped it. Picks it up, and he'll be smothered back there. They got the coverage after
when you drop it, it
fumbled.
really costs you a lot of. He looked like he's going to get some decent yardage out of that, but they converged on when he dropped that.
They will push it up to the 22-yard line. Monroe will take over with 6:48 to play in the first quarter, trailing 7-6. Offense comes out. Welch takes his spot over on the left side. Everyone else went on out and huddle. They come to the line. Maxey and Kendall in the eye. Wilson is split wide to the right side. Fort Campbell shifts along the front. Harlan rolling to his left. Had Maxey out here. He waits for Lyon. It's knocked away, broken up by number 23, Trey Powell. Lyon, I guess, was the tight end coming from the right side. Justin waiting for him to come across. Broken up by Powell. Bring up 2nd and 10. I want to see 4 down linemen right now for Fort Campbell. Expecting them to have a more stacked up line at 57. He's a good sized linebacker. 4 linebackers. Harlan under center. Second back through again is Kendall. 25. Almost, he'll cross the 30, just barely. But they cover it better on this play. Josh Carter's that big linebacker, 6'2", 230, a senior. Kendall marked at the 30. 3rd and 2. Falcons need to convert this to regain some early momentum. They have the 1 free safety, the 4 linebackers, 2 corners. Those linemen shift. Justin calls timeout after they shift. They were lined up, and they, especially the tackle, shifted a couple of slots over. Didn't like something in that. 6:01 to play in the first. Fort Campbell 7, Monroe 6. Let's take a 30-second break here from one of our sponsors.
it ain't a whole big bunch, though. I tell you, we're rolling the dice just a little. But you know, that was one of the things that Coach Petty talking about. They have to keep that offense off the field of Fort Campbell because they're so potent, I guess. But
Harlan
made it.
Harlan got 1 yard on first down to make it 4th and short. And I believe that's past the 32-yard line, so the Falcons will have it 1st and 10 on their own 33. The clock running with 5 minutes, 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. Fort Campbell 7 and Monroe 6.
Neal over yonder's man-to-man, John. I'd like to see him. Then there's a little slant right across through here because they got 1 safety there, but
5-man line for Fort Campbell. Maxey off the right guard. He got a yard or so on a short gain. Spotted back at the 33-yard line. He may have picked up a foot or so.
Gain of almost a yard to bring up 2nd down at 9.
Falcons with it on their left hash. That sort of limits Justin's rolling to his left, being the left-handed quarterback. High backfield, Maxey and Kendall. Kendall very deep. Harlan went under. Quarterback draw. He turned and faked to Kendall. Brings it to around the 35-yard line. Be 3rd down at the 35. Falcons need 8. Clock at 4:15 of the first.
Gain of about 2 on the play to bring up 3rd down and 7.
Did you hear him say where this officiating crew was from?
they're
Bob?
down in Western Kentucky. One of them I talked to was from Henderson.
That crew was from Western Kentucky last week. So. Harlan under center again. Looking at the defense, calling his signals. They bring up the linebacker to blitz. Harlan trying to throw. He's in trouble. Got away from that. He will throw incomplete. Lyon. They call the catch by Garrett Lyon.
That a catch. And we're blocked. We can't see it, but and it's right on
the spot.
It's right on it. First down.
Referees signal 1st down. So outstanding job by Justin to scramble away. And
he ducked under him. Did you see him? They just tried to clothesline him, and he.
A good job of Garrett Lyon to get position on the sideline for the catch on that short side of the field. 1st and 10 at the Monroe 43-yard line. Monroe down by 1, but a couple of first downs on this drive. Harlan on the draw to Kendall. 45. He'll have about the 47 or so. Darian Crank on the tackle. Spotted on the 48. 2nd and 5 for Monroe County.
About 5 5 yards on the play. Bring up second down.
Fort Campbell, they don't huddle defensively either. They don't huddle offense or defense. They go straight to their defensive positions. Those 4 men on the line, they go straight to the ground.
The linebackers are looking over, though, and their safeties to see what their defense is.
Harlan under center with the eye behind him. Options, still has it. Pitch late to Kendall. He drops it, goes down after it. 5 may have it. See,
Yep,
Fort Campbell's, there's the signal.
That's something I was afraid we couldn't do, John.
Kyle Sobosinski on the recovery. Tanner went down, but he couldn't get it. 5'9", 160, a junior.
And, you know, it wasn't a bad toss neither. It was just a little high, but, of course, it's very cool out there.
Yep.
Cold.
Fort Campbell has it on the Monroe 45, 2:58, first quarter. Fort Campbell 7 and Monroe 6. See if Monroe can come up with a defensive turnover or stop. Andrews in the shotgun.
Oh, what?
Fort Campbell moved early, surely. Andrews at the 40, trying to get outside. Wilson brings him down. Well,
Oh, there's no flag.
wow. That's...
Unless they done snapped the ball and everybody just moved late.
Yeah,
I didn't see the snap, but this guy, this right tackle over here, was gone.
He gained 5 to the 40. Jesse Bowman's injured. He's trying to make his way off the field. He's going to be met out there by John Pettit. They stopped play. Trevor Whitty's already checked in. Neil Wilson with a good open field tackle on Andrews. Bowman looks like favoring is something on the right side, hip or thigh. Jake England will check in. 2 receivers left and right. Andrews in the shotgun. He will throw right on the slant. It's incomplete, off the hands of Trey Powell. Prophet took a seat out from under him after he'd missed it.
That's the way to tackle them too, boy. They don't like it. Nobody likes that. And way he got up too, he's still a little slow.
Clock stopped at 2:23, third down. Fort Campbell needs 5 for a first. 3 receivers right. Fort Campbell looking over at the sideline for the play. Moreno goes to the left of the quarterback. Andrews will sweep to the right side, trying to get him stopped up. Goes out of bounds right at the first down marker. Whitty was the end over there. High got over to help push him out of bounds.
I'm not sure he made it to it, John, but that'll be 4th down, but it ain't going to be much. Look like a half a yard.
Fort Campbell will go for 4th and short. And see if he's going to run up under. See if he sneaks. He looks for a hole. Well, he stuck the ball out, but I don't know.
His knees should have been down.
Yeah, he was down back here. See what kind of spot they get.
He stuck it out there. He gave it to him.
Nah. Coach Pettit's saying it's Monroe County's ball. They're going to measure this. He tried to run off the right tackle. May have slipped a little bit. He did not make the 35.
That's one you'd like to go back and see when them knees got down too. I think his knees, when he slipped, I thought he was down.
And then
he stuck the ball out.
Yeah. Turn it over to the Monroe County Falcons. They stop them. 2 minutes, 3 seconds, first quarter. Monroe County with the football, trailing 7-6. Ball just short of the 35-yard line. Monroe now going the other way. See if we can generate a little offense. Ethan Brown in at the right guard on this possession. Line will be at the tight end on the left. Wilson left and Welch right. Maxey and Kendall in the I. Harlan, second back through to Kendall. 40, about the 42-yard line.
Man, I thought he was gone again. What was they on, 35?
35, yeah, just outside the 35.
Carried by number 27, Tanner Kendall.
Gain to the 42, maybe between the 42 and 43-yard line.
About 7 on the play.
Need to get some field position back on this drive, or even better, take it in for 7. at the top of the hour. You're listening to Monroe County Football on WTKY, WKWY in Tompkinsville, Kentucky, WVFB in Salina, Tennessee. Harlan fakes the second back through, keeps it. They stay at home, bringing down for a loss back around the 41-yard line. We'll check the spot. It is a 1-yard loss back to the 41. Third down, the Falcons will need 5 for a first down. We've kept it on this left hash this first quarter, working this left side over. Welch goes right, Wilson left. Got anything for Wilson running a slant here, Bob?
It's got to be open.
They've shaded this safety this way. There it is. Wilson went for it. Looked like an early bump. They call it incomplete.
No, there's a flag. It's on
the
50-yard line.
They had a corner there, and the safety was shading this way as well. And they both, I guess it's the corner really that hit him early. Pass interference. Monroe County will gain a first down on that penalty with 41 seconds to play in the first quarter.
The 15, I didn't.
Trailing 7-6. Spotted on the Fort Campbell 44-yard line. First and 10, Monroe County. Falcons stay in the I formation. Wilson left, Welch right. Tight end is on the left side. Harlan goes under. Goes back, hands it off late to Kendall. He cannot get back to the line. Let's see, that's 79, I believe, hit him first. He got away from him, but then there was another guy to bring him down. Lost 1 back to the 45. That will probably end the first quarter. I believe Coach Pettit's going to tell them stay in the huddle. The clock will expire with the Fort Campbell Falcons leading the Monroe County Falcons 7-6 at the end of 1. Let's take a 30. Russ told us during that break it's 28 degrees out at the radio station. As we begin the second quarter, Falcons have the ball, 2nd and 11 from the Fort Campbell 45-yard line. Trailing 7-6. Still on the left hash, but we're going the other way. On the far side, Welch. In the middle of the field, Neil Wilson backs in the I. Line the tight end on the right side. Harlan straight back to throw. Throws deep. Kendall's out there. Has it at the 30. 25-20. He's gone. Foul and touchdown. Tanner Kendall.
Touchdown, Falcons!
Tanner Kendall. I think we ran that a few games ago. I don't remember which one it was. He comes out of the backfield to this right side. Not really in the flats. He's about 15 yards or so down the field. Caught it, puts Monroe up 12-7, 11:48 to play in the second quarter. Going to go for 2. Try to get back on the 7-point multiple. We go with Maxey in front, Kendall in the back of the I, Wilson left and Welch right. Tight end line on the left side. Harlan back to throw. Throws into the end zone. Lyon, a little bit high and through his fingertips. Had a guy with him, but if it had been down 2 inches, he would have had it. Trey Powell, the defender. Monroe leads 12-7. Lining it up on either hash. This time he's putting it in the middle. He's aiming to his right. They move up a little bit. Their deep men's at the 15. It's along the ground. Fielded by 6 at the 32-yard line. We'll bring him down around just shy of the 40. That's Alan Johnson on the return. Fort Campbell begins this drive with 11:40 to play in the second quarter. Monroe leading 12-7. It's on the Fort Campbell 39. And that's the worst looking spot on the field right where they are right now, Bob. As far as, well, call it mud. I don't know what it's like out there right now. It's being 28 degrees. Andrews throws out here to the left flat. Have it 35-40, 45-50. Got to get him out of bounds, Caleb. He dropped the ball, and he has to fall on it. Whew. If he hadn't dropped it, he was going to go in. He recovered it around the 21-yard line.
I don't know how we didn't let him get down that sideline there, John. It was, looked like we had the angle all the way around on him, but man, they've come back and answered us the first. At least they didn't go in with that one, but right after we score, they come back with a big one right after it.
J.D. Irvin, the receiver, Caleb may have got a hand in and knocked it away. Irvin recovered it on the Monroe County 21-yard line. That's where Fort Campbell has 1st and 10 with 11:15 clock running.
But he was so far ahead, that's why he could just recover his own with nobody around him.
Fort Campbell looks over to the sideline. They have their play. They're set to go. They have a tight end on the right side. 3 receivers that way. Throw to the right side. Same play. Irvin again. We go for his feet. Oh, that guy, that was Profit. He got out of his grasp and then went out of bounds. Short of the first down. Bring it back to the right hash.
But it's about halfway, so it's got to be around the 15-yard line. 16.
Second down. There's a back to the right and left of Andrews. Irvin is one of those. I believe Moreno the other one. Andrews been in the shotgun all night. Give it to the back. Oh, we've got a hand on him. Slipped away from McKell High. We bring him down inside the 10.
1st and goal.
That was Troy Turner, I believe, 28. Hadn't seen him. 5'11", 185, a junior. .10:46. Fort Campbell on the Monroe 8-yard line. Trying to punch it in. Andrews takes it. Handed it to the back. He's tackled around the 5-yard line. Whitty. High.
Number 28 Turner on the carry, down to about the 5-yard line.
That was Troy Turner again. 2nd and goal on the 5. So Andrews been handing it off and throwing.
Yeah, he
hasn't
just
called his own number lately.
He's setting us up, ain't he?
Clock approaching 10 minutes to play in the second quarter. Monroe leads 12-7. Andrews in the shotgun. Fakes it. He's taking it right up the middle. We got a hand on him. You got to do more than that. He's in the end zone. We're in the backfield.
Touchdown, Fort Campbell.
But a hand's not going to bring him down.
Antonio Andrews.
9:45. The clock stopped. Fort Campbell now up 13-12.
What was that? I mean, you're 5.
Lassiter on to attempt the point after. Matt Lassiter. Be the same combination as the first.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Lassiter's kick is up and good. 14-12. Fort Campbell has taken the lead. Those extra points mean a lot.
We need to get a good run back here now.
Lassiter has it teed up. It's on the way. Let's see. Kendall at the 17-yard line, up the right sideline, brought down around the 33-yard line.
That's better. Whoop, is that a flag?
Darian Crank. Well, Monroe will begin with 9:40 to play in the second quarter. Back on the short end, 14-12. So we've had the lead 6-0 and 12-7, but Fort Campbell has answered after both of those. 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Send Wilson left and Welch right. Line on the left tight end. Maxey and Kendall. We've stayed primarily with the I formation tonight. Pitch it to Kendall. Now Wilson's running it. Harlan trying to get a block. Got a good one. 35 and reaches the 40. Good block by Justin. And a good gain by Neal. It's still touching the 40-yard line. So we'll say it's second down from the 40. Need 3 yards for a first down. Ball near the right hash. Harlan under the center. Justin Carter in at the right guard. Second back through, right up the middle. 45, brought down at the 48. Tanner Kendall. First down, Monroe County, nearing midfield
Good from Monroe County Falcons. First down.
at their own 48-yard line.
That's a working, John. They're really going for Maxie on that first handoff. He's faking it to him and giving it to, as you say, the second back through.
Welch right, Wilson left, tight end left side. 5 men across the front for Fort Campbell, 3 linebackers. Give it to Maxey. He's across midfield to about the 48 of Fort Campbell. So keep them honest. On a 4-yard gain, bring up 2nd and 6. 8:20, second quarter. Minot trails by 2. Not really. Joseph Eaton, Garrett Lyon have been bringing the plays in, but Justin's been staying close enough to the sideline. He's going over to get the play directly from Coach Petty. Same formation. Ball on the right hash. Optioning to the left side. Harlan will keep it. He will not get very much.
They really got somebody. I believe they're shadowing him, John. They've really seen a film on somebody where that's worked so good.
Gain of about a yard on the play.
Give him a yard to 47.
Bring up third down.
Third down. Another big conversion for Monroe County. Keep the ball, the clock moving, and take it in. Lyon comes to the right side of the formation as a tight end. Welch is still right, and Wilson is left. Harlan stumbles and goes down. Cannot get his feet, and he's going to be down at the Monroe County 46 or 7-yard line.
Right at the, well, a little over where we started from, ain't it?
47. Oh, me. Don't know what that was going to be. I guess it's going to be some kind of pass play, but lost his footing as he pulled away from Clint Bybee. High school, you cannot get back up. Garrett Lyon will punt. 2 back deep for Fort Campbell. It's Powell and Moreno. Garrett has the snap. Pretty good punt, guys. Spiral, hits at the 27, gets a good roll inside the 20. It'll roll around the 16-yard line. That's where Fort Campbell began this drive with 6 minutes, 27 seconds remaining in the first half. Fort Campbell leads it 14-12.
Come on, here we go again.
Monroe jumps off sides.
That's the only penalty we've got, John. It's 3 of them.
Give Fort Campbell a 1st and 5 on the 21-yard line.
He's of course, we're inside here with the windows closed. He must be barking loud there, real brisk, and we're jumping on that without, especially when you're in the shotgun. You've got to go on the snap. You can't do nothing the quarterbacks are doing back there.
He gives a lot of motion with his hands, but our linemen shouldn't be watching that. Andrews, no one there really to fake to, and we bring him down in the backfield. He may have gotten back to the 21-yard line.
Well, they moved it about a half a yard, looks like a foot.
We'll say 2nd and 4. Clock will go under 6 minutes. Fort Campbell leads by 2. Monroe missed their first extra point, went for 2 on the second one. The pass just a little bit high. And that's the 2-point difference in the game. Andrews wanting to throw over here to the right side. Boy, we had a man there.
Man,
Wilson. It's incomplete, intended for
that's 6'2".
Irvin.
If that thing throw just a little softer, he throwed it on a rope. It was a rope. But if it was softer, he's gone because he just played him. He, as you say, cheated a little.
3rd and 4. Fort Campbell on their own 22-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield with Andrews in the shotgun. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Andrews fakes, 1 to throw. Now he's running, and he'll have the first down.
I don't know, John. I can't. How far is it across the?
See, I believe he's across the 25.
Oh, okay. I thought they got him on the 25.
See, they're looking. We'll see. I think they're going to measure.
I bet it's got it. He called it last time.
Well, let's see.
I don't believe he's got it.
No, that could be short because I think they were over the 21 or 20 or 16-yard line when it started. So that could be a decision to make. 5 minutes, 30 seconds, second quarter. Fort Campbell 14 and Monroe 12.
It's about a football, looks like. Yep.
Will they go for it, Bob?
I'd say they will.
Fourth down.
They're huddling.
It's just outside the.
We don't want to jump now.
No.
They might be a.
They run to the line. Andrews. Well, now the official blows the whistle. They ran to the line. We were there ready, I believe. Andrews jumps up under center.
We've done jump.
We jump off sides.
I knew that's what's going to happen.
Well,
I done said don't jump offside. It's the only chance they've got. Well, not the only chance, but I seen that coming. That's 4, John.
we don't need to give it to them.
That's 4 offsides.
Make them earn it. That moves it out. That's really about the 31. Fort Campbell with another set of downs, 5:17 clock running in the second quarter. We don't need to give them anything. They're good enough. They're going to earn it. Long count by Andrews. He's flipped his fingers a couple of times, and then he checks his belt, hand it off to the back, and we bring him down the 34-yard line. That was Moreno. Yeah, we're going to have to get more discipline on that line. Stop from jumping. It's on the 35, just short of the 35-yard line. Second down.
I don't know when they blow it. I can't look to see how much time they've got.
Fort Campbell, on that fourth down play is the only time they've huddled. They go straight to the line. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Throw out to the right side. That's Irvin. We hit him short of the 40, but he may have worked through that and gotten the first down. Well, no, I believe it's short.
Not by much.
That was J.D. Irvin on the reception. He is a senior. A lot of their runners, receivers, quarterback is a junior, and a lot of their what you call skill players aren't juniors. 3 to the, now they're going to swap sides. 2 right, 1 left, and 2 backs in the backfield with Andrews, who was in the shotgun. Third and very short. Andrews tries to draw us off.
We flashed. 2 or 3 of them did then.
Still counting. Give it to Irvin. No, we were in the backfield. He gets away near the 50-yard line. Taken out on the far side by Jared Rich. That will stop the clock at 3:21. Fort Campbell leading by 2. They have it just outside their 47-yard line. Andrews talking to his receivers on the left side. Checks his play sheet on his belt. 1st and 10, Fort Campbell. Bring a man in motion. Throwing. It is caught. And good coverage. Kendall and Maxey were down there. Trey Powell, the receiver. They're across midfield down at the Monroe County 37-yard line.
Yeah, it was all over that one.
Looking at Irvin is their leading receiver with 39. And Allen, number 4, has 29. He's out there, but we've called his name a couple times, but not very much. 1st and 10 on the Monroe 37. Irvin going in motion behind Andrews. Andrews looking to throw after the fake. We're back there. We miss him. Miss him again. The referee stopped him. Wilson has him. And finally he runs him out of bounds. He never did go down.
But he just gained about a yard, John. But he got out of bounds. It's 254. Need that stay in there if he could, but
we had 2 men in the backfield.
He quick though, ain't he? You see his sidestepping there, how he was quick. He's just sidestepping him. Just can't over pursue him. He's so quick. You gotta just make sure you wrap up.
The ball is spotted. Well, they've spotted it back. Well, they've spotted it at the wrong place. Yeah, the official on the far side's correcting them.
No,
It's at the 34. They put it back at the where the stick was. Now they got it at the 34. Second down. Clock stopped at 2:54.
I didn't think he got up that far.
Andrews has his play. Moreno checks his playbook. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Andrews throws to the left. This is Irvin. Eaton was trying to fight through the block of Allen. Irvin's still running. He doesn't go down, but he's out of bounds.
We've got to get a hold on one of them in a minute. They're really staying with the blocks there.
We'll have to hold one of them up, let someone come through and clean his plow. 2:44. Clock stopped again. Ball's down to the Monroe 27-yard line. See, the box is still back at the 34.
I think it's a first down.
We're going to, he's going to ask him to come back over here, put the ball where he spotted it over here on the sideline, and bring the chain over.
I mean,
It's too late. You can't do that.
He may not have ever left his spot, this guy over here on our sideline. Here comes the chain gang. 2:44 to play in the first half. Falcons trying to hold Fort Campbell out. Stay just to a 2-point deficit. They're looking at it. We cannot see for the Monroe County players. It must be short.
but, you know, it'd have been about our just if he'd have made it, though, John, because all they're going to do is stop the clock now when they move the chain.
Take it out. It's
So they've got all 3 timeouts, too. They have not used a timeout.
About a foot they need for a first down. Fort Campbell comes to the line. 3 receivers right. That's the wide side of the field. 1 to the left. That's Johnson. 3rd and very short. They jump. Surely they will call that one.
Finally go back 5.
He looks at his wrist, said, we didn't go on the right count.
Everybody except him.
That was on the right guard, Stacy Whipple. He's the defensive end that has played so well tonight. That makes it 3rd and a little over 5.
Well, that little short thing made a difference in.
Andrews, we bring him down high and witty. At the 32. They'll go for it.
Yeah, here comes the play, John. This is a big one. They're going to try a field goal from there. What's the ball on? 32, 42, 40, 40, 80. That'd be 50 yards.
Yeah, there was a special team started in, but they didn't get very far.
That'd be a 50-yarder or 49.
So on the 32-yard line, they need to get to about the 27.
Surprised they don't call timeout here if they got 3 timeouts.
Clock running at 2 minutes. Box and chain looks more like a long 4. They try to draw us offside. We stay on. 4 down linemen from Monroe.
That's what I figured.
Fort Campbell calls timeout. Clock stops at 1:57 in the first half. Fort Campbell 14, Monroe 12. We'll be back to this message, see if the Falcons can stop them. First half, Monroe County trying to stop Fort Campbell on this drive. Ball on the Monroe County 32-yard line. Fort Campbell has thrown quite a bit on this drive, but I expect Andrews to do something on this one. Big defensive stand from Monroe County trying to stop Fort Campbell before the end of the first half. Moreno will be in the backfield with Andrews. 3 receivers right, 1 left.
Don't jump off sides.
Bring a man in motion. Fake it, now throwing. Deep down the field, it's too far. Incomplete.
He got a finger on it.
He had us beat.
Got a finger on it.
Chris Allen, the intended receiver. He has the most, he has 29 receptions on the year, 636 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He has the most yards. He doesn't have the most receptions for Fort Campbell. give it to Monroe County. 1:52 first half on their own 32-yard line. Be nice to have 7, Bob. Well, or 8. We'll probably go for 2. 8. Take this lead in at halftime. Kendall alone in the backfield. Wilson. No, there's the I. Didn't see Matt. He's back there. It's an I in the backfield. Second back through is Kendall. He trips over, I believe, Maxie was down, and Tanner tripped over Caleb and the guy that had tackled him. 2nd and 10.
I think I don't believe we'll go crazy here, John. Try anything real to get the intercepted, because, we're just 2 down, and played a good for what we had. 1 fumble. They didn't know how to turn over, so we're doing all right. Get in here with 2 down into halftime.
We bring in everybody tight. Harlan goes back into the shotgun, and something's not right. Call a timeout. Bring Joseph Eaton down. I don't know if he's supposed to be in on that alignment. He joins the huddle. He'll be in after this timeout with 1 minute and 11 seconds to play in the first half. Justin Harlan back in the shotgun. Maxie to his left. Wilson and Kendall the wings. Wilson goes in motion, hand it to him. He's trying to get outside on the left side. He's around the corner, 30, 35, will not make the 40.
Good block by Maxie. Had a dandy block over there.
Clock under a minute and running. Bring it out to the left hash. Monroe now going to our right. It's on the 39-yard line. Falcons need about 3 for a first. They break through the huddle with 40 seconds. Pick up these 3 yards. Harlan fake to Maxie, still has it. Trying to get outside on the right side. 40, they caught him there at the 40. That's going to be it. Fort Campbell will probably call timeout. That big 57, Josh Carter, 6'2", 230, the linebacker. That's at the 39, so no gain on the play. 4th down. Fort Campbell stopped it with 19.8. And they're motioning. They're going to put some more time back on it, I believe. Coach Pettit questioning something. I don't know if it's the clock.
I don't think it run that much off, no how. Because I watched him over, and as quick as it was down, they called the timeout, but
yeah, it's we're going to punt. I'm not sure. I'm assuming surely Fort Campbell called the timeout to stop that so that they could get the ball.
Well, I know
24 seconds.
I know we were going to punt, but I just.
Did they call the timeout?
Yeah. Yeah, they called it.
Trey Powell deep for Fort Campbell. Garrett Line has the snap. Punt very high and short. It will hit at the 42. Good roll right down the sideline.
And
goes out of bounds at the 28.
Yeah, 29, 20. Yeah, 28. That's a good punt.
13.7 on the clock. Fort Campbell, they definitely have the big play potential. Let's see if we can hold them for a couple of plays and go in with this 14-12 Fort Campbell lead. It is on the 28 of Fort Campbell. They're looking at their play sheets on their belts. Now Monroe calls a timeout. Coach Knuckles wants to talk about the defense.
Well, that's good. We've got one. I've got us with 2 more. But, use it.
Yep, don't need to take them in.
Make sure they know what you want them to do.
Yep.
How deep you want them to play.
Andrews wanting to throw. He's looking deep down the left sideline. It is up, and it is caught. Mason Prophet, Tanner Kendall right there, but it was brought down by Trey Powell. 4.8 seconds. Clock stopped to move the chains. I don't believe they've called a timeout. They move it back to the 35-yard line. They line up, spike the ball. 1.8. 1.8. Falcons have to stop them one more time from the Monroe County 35-yard line.
That's a dandy catch, John. We is in double coverage too.
Yeah, we were there. Somebody could just got a hand in and knock that away.
Well, right here we just need to make a play right here. It's one play. This is all one play without a penalty. Just don't let him get in the end zone.
Andrews in the shotgun. Now Fort Campbell will call timeout. Kendall and Wilson had dropped back very deep. Of course, we don't want to give up anything. Let them catch it there at the 15, run around, get in the end zone. Coach Knuckles, Coach Pettit talking it over.
They scare me more with a little short pass and then run
Yep.
than a deep one.
Yep, especially when we're spread out like that. Yep. 1.8 seconds. Falcons, both Falcon teams at the line. Andrews has it. Looking to his right. We flush him. He's raring back.
Oh, he's
to
over the
throw.
line of scrimmage. He's over the line of scrimmage.
Eaton's back there to knock it down. That's incomplete.
They called it too,
yeah,
but
flag,
we'll decline that. He was over the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the flag is on the field, but he crossed the 35. He was about the 33-yard line when he threw it. Line of scrimmage was the 35. So the half will end. Fort Campbell 14 and Monroe County 12 at the end of this first half of the semifinals of the state playoffs. Let's take a 5-minute break. You're listening to it. Falcons 14, the Monroe County Falcons 12. Monroe County got on the board first, 77-yard run by Tanner Kendall. It was the first play of our second drive, second possession. That was at 7:13 of the first quarter. The extra point attempt was no good on the kick by Justin Carter. So it was the very next play, though, wasn't it, Bob? Fort Campbell scored.
The kickoff, the first play, they took it in.
53 yards out, Antonio Andrews started to his left and saw a hole up the middle on a cutback, and I don't know if we touched him after he got through the line. Matt Lassiter added the extra point, make it 7-6. That was at 6:55 of the first. Monroe reclaimed the lead at 11:48 of the second quarter. 45-yard pass from Justin Harlan to Tanner Kendall. We attempted a 2-point conversion, but it was just a little bit high for Garrett Line. Couldn't bring it down. That made it 12-7. At 9:45, Fort Campbell scored from 5 yards out. Andrews took it in, and Lassiter added the extra point to make it 14-12, and that is our halftime score. Bombadil has some halftime stats.
Harlan was 2 out of 4 in the passing for 53 yards, and those, of course, was Kendall caught one for the touchdown, and Garrett Lyons caught the other for 8. Harlan rushed 7 times for a -4, and of course the one that really hurt him there is when he lost to 6 on that third and 2 or 3, and he got a big loss there. Kendall had a great first half. Of course, that 77-yard touchdown didn't hurt his average, but he had 9 carries for 101. Maxie had 3 carries for 4, and Wilson had 3 carries for 19. So that's 22 rushes for 120 and 2 passes for 53. So 173 yards on ain't a bad first half against a quality opponent like this.
I didn't look at that. Of course, they don't update the stats after the regular season ends, but I believe they have the leading rushing defense. They don't give up many rushing yards, and they don't give up many points. They've only given up 123 points, like it is all season.
And you divide that by 13.
Yeah.
So that's not many a game.
So the Falcons 2 down at halftime.
Of course, they had 20 yards penalties, and we had 20, but all 4 of ours penalties were 5-yarders on all sides.
Yep.
And they had the one pass interference, and then they had an offsides there once too that pushed them back. But I don't think they hurt us, John. Because both of their, I don't know what the last touchdown. I know it didn't hurt on their first touchdown. Penalties didn't, but it could have on that second one though, because I can't think now if those penalties was mixed in with that drive or they had or not. But if they did, they come early. It wasn't late in it, but you don't notice them as much when they're down there inside the 20 and you get the penalties. But hey, I'm tickled to death, and I'm sure John's going to go down there and tell his guys we're right in the middle of this thing, boy.
Yep.
It's one score away. I mean, a field goal or anything right now can put you in the lead. And you seen last week. Maybe that's what we're going to take to win one tonight. Won one last week on a safety and might get her second field goal of the year. And, we're in field goal range right now. I mean, field goal of score by trailing by 2.
Yeah. Just looking down. What is that down there behind the goal post, Bob? I don't know what that is. It looks like a pole, some kind of pole set up.
Oh, it's an antenna. I think they might be broadcasting out or something.
Okay. I believe they did say they were on the
internet.
They're streamed on the internet, so the families that are over in Iraq and Afghanistan that are deployed can actually listen to the game on the internet.
I wish we'd have knew that earlier. We could have advertised that, because there's been a lot of people asking about these games being on the internet. So
yeah.
I mean, somebody living in Louisville or somewhere like that out of the range of the WKKY, but they could have listened to it on the Fort Campbell station there too.
Yeah, so that is very nice. Their families, of course, the families of these Fort Campbell players, it's an Army post. We know where they are. We're listening to it, or hear it all the time.
I don't know if they knew or not, but somebody said they were sending it to Iraq, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can be done, especially on the internet. I mean, I know it can go on the internet over there.
Yeah. What was it? Oh, yeah, I was just talking about this being the final game here in Darrell Carter Stadium this year. We had you were looking the other night, 4 playoff games and 5 regular season games, 9 games this year here at home, and it's been a good home field for the Falcons. Did lose the one game we lost to Greenwood here. But if you haven't been out to see this team, if you see some of the players or their families, just congratulate them on the outstanding season that they've already had. And it's not over.
No,
it may not end here tonight, folks.
It's not over.
The first half is over, but just want to say thank you if there's someone listening here in the crowd tonight, all the support that we've had right here at Darrell Carter Stadium this year. And it has been great to play here at home, these 4 playoff games.
And, we got up here early tonight, and the radio crew from Fort Campbell down there, and they were talking about all the signs. And they mentioned all of them coming through, and even they said, well, we got up to the red light and they closed the town off. So said, of course, I think there's something going on with the Christmas Expo, or maybe I know the band and the cheerleaders are up there too, and doing some things for the Falcons. What is it, downtown Christmas or something tonight, but they had it over with before the game started too, so that all worked out good. But people like that, do you think you don't recognize all those signs as out 163 and all the way out to the Metcalfe County line? And it's just and it happens, it brings your community together, and that's the great part about this. And the people that you see in these stands here tonight that you haven't saw for years, especially some of the older alumni from Tompkinsville, and I saw some down there from Gamaliel. It's just great to see them. Wished I had long to stand down there and talk to them, but it's colder out there than it is up here, so I come back.
And before we go back to the station for break, mind you that the radio station is sponsoring the Christmas tree auction. It, according to the spot that I got last week, it runs on through Sunday the 7th. You can call in your bids or donations. Proceeds will stay in the county. You can call the station at 270-487-6119. And the proceeds are going to be used to help the elderly with their heating expenses.
Has it got where they're at? I know there's a couple out the Armory, or maybe 3.
They're in different locations. I don't know where they're at.
I forgot where the others are, but I know you can call the Armory. Call the radio station. They'll tell you, but you look at it, you just say, oh, well, I'll give $100 for that Christmas tree. I'll give $1,000. And they say, well, okay, you're the highest bidder right now until somebody else comes in. And there's so many. You say, well, I don't give up for a Christmas tree. It's all the ornaments and stuff that's on it, John. There's just so many different things. It's not just a Christmas tree there. It's all these different items and stuff that they put on it to make it worth what you're bidding on.
Yeah. Falcons have made their way back out of the dressing room onto the field to, I guess we call it warm-ups, but I don't know how much you can warm up out there tonight.
Better off down there in that, if there isn't.
Russ said it's still 28 degrees, or it was as we got to halftime tonight. Let's go back to the station, take another 3-minute break. The Falcons, the Monroe County Falcons, trail it at halftime, 14-12, semifinals of the state playoffs. We'll be back after this 3-minute break. December 5, 2008, Monroe County hosting Fort Campbell, semifinals of the playoffs, second half. Turn our tape on, get that back on. Newport Central Catholic has defeated Corbin 26-7. We're going to do our best to prevent a rematch, Bob. That's who Fort Campbell played last year. And you know what I would have to say about that. I do not like the publics and privates going up against each other. I wish we could have played Corbin tonight and then let these two private schools play each other, and we'd call that the two state champions. It just isn't fair, the public's having to compete against the private schools. They can say what they will. I know when they talked about it a couple of years ago about putting all the privates together, it was that Newport Central Catholic coach that cried that, he'd never be able to compete against Trinity and St. X. And I thought, well, take some of your own medicine. It's hard for us to compete against you guys that recruit.
I think Bell County also beat Boyle County tonight, John. That was a big, Boyle's a big powerhouse. Wonder how the Trinity St. X game is, though. They're playing in Papa John's. They're playing in Papa John's tonight, because that always draws a big crowd.
Yeah.
Since St. X is up 28-21, so that's a good one.
Garrett Lyon again tees it in the center of the field, aiming to his right. Their deep backs are one's at the 15, one's at the 20. Garrett, it's a spinner, fielded at the 35, and he goes down.
That's good. We'll take that. That thing, I don't think it went the way he wanted it to, but it worked. Anyway.
Alan Johnson's the one that recovered it. Looked like picked it up at the 35. They're going to spot it at about 36. That's where Fort Campbell will begin the second half. They have the 14-12 lead. Antonio Andrews been the quarterback all the way. The only time he's gone under center is on 4th and short to quarterback sneak. They stand and look at the sideline for the plays. I guess they're giving signals, sort of like the third base coach, aren't they, Bob? I don't really notice over there at their coach.
Didn't unplug nothing, did it, John?
Andrews gave it to the tailback. He's up around the 39-yard line. That was Moreno. Second down for Fort Campbell. Whitty is this right tight end. I hadn't picked up Jesse. Jesse Bowman went out injured early.
Yeah, I don't know.
White, Rich, and Proctor the rest of the front line. Andrews fakes. We got him back there. Finally, a couple catch a hold of him. Was it Rich? No, it's Proctor at his
got
feet.
Him on the ankle.
And then Whitty and Rich. That's at the 40-yard line. So he gained one. They need about 6 for a first.
So what he really done was he was taking the pitch man kindly too, but he slowed Andrews up to let Proctor catch him. You're a big third down, John.
Eaton, Lyon High, and Wilson are the linebackers. Two backs back there with Andrews. He's going back to throw. Proctor pressures him, throws out of bounds. And the official slips on the far side.
Proctor give him credit for that, because he just throwed it. Just throwed it away.
Chris Allen was the intended receiver. And the whole defense asking for some noise.
That's what we needed. 3 and out.
That's the best series they've come out at halftime all year.
Is that Lassiter? I believe the young man that does the place kicking is also the punter. He's trying to get a good place to get his footing. Neil Wilson stands at his 30.
This is their first punt, John?
Look how they're spread, Bob. They've got 3 protected. It was a low snap. If he gets it away, we need to get, Neil is running up to fair catch it. He doesn't care to get in a crowd. That's at the 37 of Monroe County.
Wouldn't be bad if he run over some of them. I still don't think that's, they talk about having to give them a full yard, and them peoples was all around him.
That's excellent concentration by Neil to step up to catch that. It's actually at the Monroe County 38. 1st and 10 with 10:39 to play in the third quarter. Fort Campbell leading 14-12. Welch wide to the left, Wilson to the right. That's the short side. Max in front of Kendall. Lyon is on the right side as the tight end. Kendall stumbled, got up, took the handoff, and he's across the 40-yard line.
Well, as long as he don't have the ball, he can get up. That just showed you what kind of shape that field's in, John.
Justin waited for him to get back up, and then he gave it to him. He got to the 43, second and about 5. So that must have been some good blocking to still make the gain even after stumbling. Same alignment. Fort Campbell shifting along the front line with 4 down linemen. Harlan looking to his left to throw under some pressure. Now steps up. He's going to run it 45-50, 45, 40, 35-30. Good block down the field by, that was Bybee, and he gets down to the 25-yard line.
Man, what a
center, Clint Bybee down blocking at the 35-yard line, and some other downfield blocking as well. That play was intended to be a pass play over to the left side. No one open. Justin, a big gainer down to the Fort Campbell 25-yard line.
Was it the 43 over here? Was that?
Yes, 43. We had too many men on the field. We didn't snap it. Got the man off. Second back through is Kendall right up the middle. Inside the 20. Falcons will face a second down. 9.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Fort Campbell leads by 2. It's at the 17-yard line. Falcons need 3. Ball on the right hash. Welch splits that way, the short side. Wilson to the left. That's safety shades to the Wilson side of the field. Harlan under center. Faked it to Maxey. Pitches out left to Kendall, and they take his feet out from under him. Good tackle by Trey Powell. See, that's going to be a loss back to the 20-yard line. Nah, it's still inside the 20. I'd call it the 19. Third down. Falcons have been looking nice on this drive. Let's see if we can overcome that loss. Now working with the right side is the wide side of the field. Welch is that way. Line is the tight end on the left. Harlan looking right. Now he's under pressure, steps up, throws, has a man open. It's Maxey in the end zone. Justin Harlan. Elusiveness, Caleb Maxey open down the field, and the Falcons lead it 18-14. He got away from 2 men, Justin Harlan did.
Put it on the money, too.
Justin over talking to Coach Pettit, gets the play. Going to go for 2, trying to make it a 6-point game. 8 minutes, 10 seconds. We're in the third quarter. Welch not very wide to the right. Wilson to the left. Backs in the eye. Harlan pitches to Kendall. Hands it off to Wilson. He may have an option to run or throw. He's going to run. And he's pushing. He's not going to make it. It'll be Fort Campbell 14 and Monroe County 18. With 8 minutes, 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Garrett is teed it on the left hash. He's aiming to the right again. Very, very short. We're gonna cover it. We're down there. I believe we have it.
No.
The bench says we do.
No, they're saying not.
Pointing the other way. Oh boy, that was close. My goodness. Coach Pettit talking to Braden Ward. Yeah, they only had one guy there.
And I don't know why he jumped up to touch it. Neither it was going out of bounds.
I believe it was 57, the big linebacker, Josh Carter. I thought the ball was still on the ground when we had a couple of guys arrive on the scene. That gives Fort Campbell very good field position on their own 43-yard line, 8:06 to play in the third. Monroe leading 18-14. Andrews tries to draw off offside.
We almost did.
Well, they throw a late flag. Oh, my. We did flinch. I don't know how far you have to go to get the flag. That official was way over on the far side that threw the flag. A good 40 yards away from the play. So that's 1st and 5. Andrews gives it to the tailback. 45-40, that's Moreno. We've got him stopped at the 35 finally. Well, they're pushing it inside the 35. Fort Campbell, they strike quickly. After Monroe County scores, we're inside 8 minutes, spotted on the Monroe County 33-yard line. 3 receivers left and 1 right. Moreno in the backfield with Andrews. And that is Powell on the right by himself. Irvin goes in motion to join him on that side. Andrews fakes and throws over there to Irvin. Wilson hits him, brings him down. Whoa, wait a minute. What?
I guess that was a block down there, wasn't it?
Oh, I thought he had a hold of it. There's a flag. It's a hold against Fort Campbell.
At least theirs are big ones, and theirs are 10s and 15s.
I guess I thought Neal was tackling. Maybe he was tackling Neal, holding him. And we'll push it back to the Monroe County 44-yard line. And they have to get to the 23, so they need 21 for a first. Still first down. Andrews looks at the sideline, ball on the right hash. They have 3 receivers on that short side of the field. Powell over here, man on with Profit on the left side. Going to look that way. Throw it to him on a slant. Almost picked off by Wilson. Wilson slipped out to help. Trevor Whitty pats him on the head. What kind of room do he have over here, Bob, to catch that?
If he keeps his feet, that's the thing about it. He was diving for it, but if he keeps his feet, he's gone. 2nd
and 21. Monroe up 18-14. Andrews passing his play along. They look at their wristbands. Some of them have it on their belts. Andrews rolling to his left, wanting to throw. Throws out here to Allen. He has it. Not going to have a first down. It's Chris Allen.
But they're down. That gets them down in 4-down territory, though, John. What's he like, about 7?
It's on the 29.
I don't know, where'd he come from? Do you notice?
No, I think he was the inside man. There were 2 over here on the left. I think he was the inside man. 2 right, 2 left. Moreno stands at Andrews' right in the backfield. Andrews steps a little closer. Faked it, pitched it. It's on the ground. Back for a turn to pick it up. We're on it. We're on it at the 44.
Had 2 on it, didn't we?
Irvin was the man trying to recover it. He couldn't pick it up. Monroe, who had it? Bob, I didn't see who picked it up. We had 2 guys dive on it. Coach Rippey said he thought maybe Garrett Lyons.
Well, they're getting Whitty there too. I don't know for sure which one it was, but
Monroe leads 18-14.
And Proctor, they hugging him. I guess they're hugging everybody, but they know we got a big break, John. They were driving too, and we've been needing that one.
6:59. We're in the 3rd quarter. Turner, Brown, Bybee, Jenkins, and Cornelius the line. Lyon, the tight end on the right side. Second back through is Kendall. They were ready for that. That worked well in the first half. See if he made it back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't think he did he?
Yeah, might have lost just a little, but we're still calling it the 44. Didn't lose much. Welch comes out, Eaton goes in. So we'll have a 2 tight end formation. Wilson and Kendall on wings. Maxey stands to the right of Harlan in the shotgun. Wilson goes in motion, hand it to him. Now Kendall reversing back this way, and they stay at home, throw that for a loss. That's back to the 40, 42, 43-yard line. 40, we'll call it the 42. 3rd down. Falcons not able to get anything on the reverse. Come to the ball. leading by 4, 5:50 to play in the third quarter. Go back to the I formation. Harlan goes under Bybee. Back to throw, pressured, screen to Kendall, 45, cross midfield, and it's going to be close.
Got it.
Flag.
We got it. Got it.
Hit him out of bounds.
Yep.
That'll give Monroe County a first down. He was going to be very close. I don't believe he had it, but
No, they had him. They got him marked on about the 49.
looks like they're beginning the mark from the.
So what did he get on that? About
Yeah, he started from the 49.
42 to the.
That'd be 9 if it's.
Yeah.
It's marked at the 34 of Fort Campbell after the penalty. 1st and 10. 5:34, third quarter. Monroe breaks the huddle. Welch left, Wilson right. Lyon the tight end on the right side. Maxine Kendall in the eye. 4-man line for Fort Campbell. Kendall, right tackle. Got through the line, may have gained a couple. See what kind of spot they give him. Big gang tackle by Fort Campbell. They put it on the 33-yard line. 2nd and 9. Again, Fort Campbell, they do not huddle defensively. They're 4-down linemen. They take a knee. As soon as the play's over, they go to the line of scrimmage, take a knee. Harlan looks at the defense, calling his signals. Fakes to Maxey, still has it, fakes the pitch. Ooh, boy, he's hit a 57. Big Carter, Josh Carter, he was right there to hit Justin. That's a loss.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's still between the 34 and 35.
Brought it back to where it was, I believe.
Yeah. 34-yard line, 3rd and 10. Monroe trying to capitalize on the Fort Campbell turnover. Fumbled on the pitch.
John, is this 4-down territory here or not?
That depends on what we do here.
I mean, we've every time we've kicked it off, we've not had it down back this far hardly.
Harlan will look to throw, and there. Carter on the blitz is straight up. No one touched him. 57's that big linebacker, 6'2", 230. He is a senior. That will bring on the punt team.
Yep, that will.
Pushed us back to the 43-yard line. 43. So Lyon will be punting. Clock's running at 3:40 of the third. So here the Fort Campbell radio crew, they're really bragging on 57 and his performance in that drive. Good snap to Garrett. Very high punt right down the middle of the field, calling for a fair catch. Has it at the 18. We'll check the spot. Yeah. Got some better field position, but couldn't capitalize, couldn't take in for points off the Fort Campbell turnover. See, Fort Campbell goes right to the line offensively at their own 19-yard line. 3:24, third quarter. Monroe 18, Fort Campbell, Monroe 18, Fort Campbell 14. 3 receivers left. They send Irvin in motion to the right. Andrews is going to sweep it that way. Cuts up and trying to get outside, and we get him down, but it's first down outside the 30. Andrews didn't make any fakes at all that time. He was running all the way.
They're so close to holding on that first initial block on that end over there, John. And I heard Scotty talking about it down here. He took him out of the play, but it looked like he was pulling on him as he went down. But you know, they're closer than we are.
First down on the 34-yard line. Andrews, a little fake that time, but right up the middle. Another first down.
He's taking over now, ain't he, John? He's just calling his number.
He's not as big as Pendleton that we saw last week, but he has the speed. It's on the Fort Campbell 49, another first down. Clock running at 2:50 in the third quarter. Still the 4-down lineman for Monroe County. Andrews Gives it to the running back. He breaks it outside. Caleb's trying to catch him. He's not going to. That's Turner.
He run right by two of our defenders there. I don't know who they were.
Troy Turner, 5'11", 185. He's a junior. And that puts Fort Campbell back in the lead, 20-18. 2 minutes, 31 seconds.
What number was it, John?
28. Lassiter on to attempt the extra point.
And it was 51. Is that what
Yes.
John, he got 49 up there, so it's 51.
Extra point attempt is up and good. 21-18. Fort Campbell with the lead. 2:31 in the third. We've had the lead 3 times.
Yep, we've had it 3 times.
6-0, 12-7, 18-14. Campbell reclaims the lead.
Number 16, Lassiter in to kick off for Fort Campbell.
Lassiter,
Monroe County, number 6.
he's got it laying on the ground right now. Bob's he's gonna put it on tee. Maxey is deep in the middle. Kendall and Wilson are on either side of him. Fort Campbell asking their fans to get with it, but they don't have a lot of fans here. So Lassiter puts the toe to it. It will be fielded by Kendall at the 18-yard line. He's out about the 30 and brought down. Irvin and Davis on the tackle. Marino also there. 2 minutes, 26 seconds. Monroe County at their own 30-yard line. We're in the third quarter. There's Jesse back on the sideline. He has a crutch with him. Look, something on his right leg when he came off early in the first half.
Like his hip, wasn't it, John?
Yeah. Still in uniform, but we won't be seeing the senior back tonight. Bring Kendall in motion, hand it to him, sweeping the right side. Behind the Maxey block. I believe he got past the 35, but tackled in front of the Monroe County bench.
By number 27, Tanner Kendall. Gain of 5 on the play.
Spotted on just outside the 35, call it 36, second down. Need a long 4 for a first. Carter plays that. Well, they have 2 linebackers, I guess. Let's see, they've got 5 up on the line. There comes a 6th on the line. Kendall comes in motion, fake it to him, rolling, throwing out there, tipped, and it is still being tipped, now intercepted at the 50-yard line.
That's loose again, but I think they fell back on it. Whoever tackled him on the last time knocked it out of their hand.
They're going into the pile to see who has it. Fort Campbell has it. I believe it was 11.
How many times was it tipped over there, John?
See, I don't even, who was it?
Who was it intended for? I don't even know.
Maxey, maybe, I don't know who it was, but we had the one guy there. By the time they ended up tipping it, they had about 3 men there, and they end up with the interception. Darian Crank. They have 1st and 10 on the Monroe County 34-yard line with 1:32 to play in the third quarter. Fort Campbell 21, Monroe 18. Fake the handoff. Andrews still has it. Brought down for a loss. Outside the 35.
Number 1, Andrews on the carry.
It's on the 36.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Justin Harlan checks in. He replaces Garrett Lyon. Andrews and the shotgun. Been there all night except for a couple of 4th down plays. Bring a man in motion. Hand it off to Moreno up the middle. He's inside the 25 and a 1st down.
Boy, we had a big hole there, John. I mean, a big one.
They will move the chains. It's on the 20, call it the 23. Clock running at 45 seconds in the third. 3 receivers right. A running back to the left of Andrews. fake it to him, pitch it. This is the one they fumbled earlier, but he catches it this time, and Irvin will take it in.
Well, how'd we miss him over here?
Got a block on the corner, and that was it.
Man, who hit him?
Got a block on Mason Prophet, our cornerback, and there's no one else over there. That makes it 27-18 Fort Campbell. That's J.D. Irvin.
And it was 23 yards?
Yep. Lassiter back on to attempt the extra point. So Fort Campbell capitalizes on the interception. Lassiter's extra point is no good. I don't believe it was blocked because it still looked like it was end over end, but it went wide to the right. 27-18. Falcons find themselves down by the largest margin tonight after the interception at midfield. Again, ball was tipped. They had some players swarm the ball, and by the time it came down, they had it.
And then it fumbled it again, too. It was on the ground again. John? No, that's 9, ain't it? So it's two scores, down 2 scores now.
Yeah. Fort Campbell, they do huddle on the kickoffs. The ball is laying at the 40. When they come out of that huddle, he then puts it on the tee. 31.6 seconds, third quarter. Lassiter has it on the tee. Maxey, Kendall, and Wilson deep. Maxey's at the 10. Kendall and Wilson on the 15. Lassiter approaches toward Kendall. Hits at the 20, stops dead. Kendall picks it up at the 18, runs over Maxey, and they'll bring him out of bounds. Don't believe he made the 25. We'll check.
Well,
it.
he's hoping it went out of bounds, and you can't hardly blame him the way that was hit, and it just boom right there.
Looked like the old golf ball hitting the green. It didn't go anywhere. It's at the 23-yard line, 25.2 seconds to play in the third quarter. Fort Campbell leading 27-18. Carter in at the right guard. He and Ethan Brown rotate that position. 2 receivers left and right. Maxey in the backfield. Harlan goes under. Fake it to Maxey. Harlan still has it. He's hit back at the 20-yard line. That's Crank again. So Crank, the interception. Now,
John, I think
quarterback.
the way they're blitzing and everything, we're going to have to start passing because, I mean, the last, how many plays have we run? And, I mean, everybody's coming. And they can't be there. Everything's got to be single coverage down here. Of course, I know our last pass over there was intercepted, but they're coming hard there now.
That's the end of 3. Fort Campbell 27, Monroe County 18. Let's go back to hear from one of our sponsors. Monroe Falcons trail at 27-18 at the end of 3. Let's see, what was it? 14-12 at halftime? Yeah, they missed their last extra point. Yeah, 14-12 at halftime, the Fort Campbell lead. Kendall on the reverse after faking up the middle to Maxey. He's going to be close to first down out around the 30-yard line. Let's see where the spot will be. We begin the final period of play.
Carried by number 27, Tanner Kendall.
Spotted on the 30.
Bring up third down and around
Falcons need, looks like long 2 or 3. And this is a must conversion. Falcons need to keep this ball, keep it moving. Kendall and Welch wide to the left. 2 to the right. I guess that's Wilson and Lyon. Not sure if it's Lyon or Eaton. Up the middle, Maxey has a first down. Tackled at the 39-yard line. It's the Falcon fans cheering again. First and 10 on their own 39.
We've got to score pretty quick, John. You've got to have, when you have to have 2 scores, you have to, it takes a long time to get 2. One's you can kind of work for 1, but when you know you got to have 2, you have to go pretty quick. I don't doubt that we maybe in 4 down this whole thing.
Monroe on their own 39 on the right hash, and that's the the muddiest spot on the field. Of course, it's very cold, probably frozen over out there right now. We pitch it to Maxey. Wilson had gone in motion trying to lead block. And Maxey caught by Carter. Got outside the 40. So I think when we played them back in, what was that, 2003, that's when Micah Johnson was there. But I was trying to remember if he played in that game. Seemed like he was injured. It's at the 41-yard line. Second down. Clock running at 10:15 of the third quarter. Fort Campbell 27, Monroe County 18. Bob's gone into a coughing fit. He said he's got one of those coughs that a lot of people have going around. Harlan faked it to Maxey. Kendall on the sweep. Oh, that guy got off that block. Bobby was trying to block him, and that was Carter again. He's all over the field. And he brings Kendall down for a loss. I believe I've overheard them saying he's going to Western. He did a great job. Bobby was out there on him blocking, but he discarded him and was there to meet Kendall. That brings up 3rd and 12. So Falcons may be in a passing situation. Wilson and Kendall to the left. Welch to the right. Harlan in the shotgun with Maxey standing to his right. 4 down linemen. Another one slips up there to blitz. It's a screen. He's got to get rid of it. Does to Maxey. He gets away from 72, 40, and brought down about the 43-yard line, short of the first down. He fell on the back of Clint Jenkins. He gets up, but that's at the 44-yard line of Monroe County. 8:52 in the third, trailing by 9. Falcons are going to have to go for it. We need 5 yards for a first down. Ball's on the left hash. Wilson comes to the short side of the field. Welch to the right. May try to draw him offside and then call a timeout. They do jump. 52. See if that's enough. Casey Miller. It's probably not going to be enough. They did give them 6 on a march back early in the first half. I think that first time they drew us offside, they marked off 6 yards. 52 gets a break after jumping off sides. He's a junior. Yeah. They still haven't administered the penalty. Yeah, I don't know if they're examining the chain to see if it's going to be a first or what. Looked like they went over and looked. Now, they didn't do that when they had the ball earlier. They went out there and marked it off. They went out there and marked it off. They went out there and marked off 6 yards. They spotted the ball, then they scooted it back. Now, they gave them a 6-yard penalty the first time they had it, and the first down. It's 4th and very short for the Monroe County Falcons, though. They crowd the line. Harlan goes under. He runs the sneak to the left side. We're pushing. I think he's going to have it. Clock stopped at 8 minutes, 19 seconds in the ball game. I've never seen them do that, Bob. Go over and look at the chain and go by that to determine whether or not they're going to have a first down before they mark the penalty. I believe the back of the ball is on the Fort Campbell 49. They put number 52 back in. He's the one jumped off sides. Falcons with a set of downs. Option at second back. Kendall hit in the hole. May have gained a yard. We'll see.
I believe I'm going to live, John.
You going to make it, Bob?
I had my doubt there for a minute.
You said you might have one of those coughing spells.
Man, that didn't like to got me.
It's on the Fort Campbell 48. Joseph Eaton checks in. Monroe trying to take it in to get it closer. It's 27-18, Fort Campbell. Monroe led this one 18-14. Monroe's going to call a timeout. 7:26, fourth quarter. Fort Campbell 27, Monroe 18. Falcons go to the line, second and a long 9 from the Fort Campbell 48-yard line. I formation behind Justin Harlan. Straight back to throw. Looked for Wilson on an out. Wasn't there. He's hit after he got away from the initial tackler by Carter. And I tell you, when Carter hits you, you know it. And that's back to the Monroe County 49-yard line. So it'll be third and about 12. Harlan sacked by Josh Carter. He avoided the first pursuit, but then Carter was there to bring him down.
Well, he's living up to his reputation, John.
Yeah.
He's by far the best linebacker we saw this year, and by no comparison.
No, 6'2". I'm looking at the wrong number. We'll get it here in a minute. I believe he's 6'2", and we'll get his weight. Right up the middle, Caleb Maxey trips behind Carter. That's our Justin Carter, but he got it off of his block and brought it inside the 40 to almost the 35 for a first down. They're Josh Carter, 6'2", 230. An outstanding linebacker. Spotted on the 36 of Fort Campbell, 1st and 10. 6:32. Now they start the clock. Falcons down 27-18. Trying to push it in for a touchdown that'll draw them a little closer. Welch coming to the left, Wilson to the right. Backs in the eye. Harlan left it with Maxey up the middle. Another 5-yard gain. May have gained 6. We'll see if they give him the 30. No, 5. 2nd and 5. Punch this one in. Convert an onside kick and see what we can do. Wilson comes to the left. Welch to the right. Tight end on the right side, or left side, I believe that's Eaton. Option it to the left side. Harlan's going to keep it. Good decision inside the 30. About the 27-yard line. They were out there on Tanner Kendall. Yeah, let's see. Coach Pettit's motioning for a first down. Going to need a yard. 3rd down.
What are we on, 26?
27. Harlan goes under center. Same formation with the tight end on the left side. Maxey stumbled, took the handoff. He's at the 25. They should give him the 25. That'll be a first down.
Yep, this guy here's got it.
Falcons grinding out first downs.
Taking a long time to do it, though,
Yep.
John.
On the Fort Campbell 25. Clock at 4:50. Continues to run. Monroe is down by 9, so we need 2 scores. Harlan goes under. Maxey again up the middle, inside the 20. Well, we're knocking them off 5 and 6 yards a pop.
Need to lull them to sleep and do the bomb.
Yeah, that'll get tougher as we get down close to the end zone. It's on the 20, 2nd down. Wilson comes to the left. Welch to the right. Harlan back to throw. Look for Wilson, now throws it deep. Well, they tackle Wilson. There's a flag. It's very late. They've intercepted the ball. He falls down. The man in the end zone didn't throw the flag.
Well, this now here it is.
This guy out here had to throw it.
Well, he's pointing at the.
There were 3 men back there with Neal. They pulled him down to the ground.
If this would have been the college, had been nice. That thing went at the 2.
Their coach is out to the hash. There's a flag against the coach. He was out to the hash. Unsportsmanlike conduct. So we're only going to get half the distance.
Let's see, what would it go to? It was 20. That'll go to the 10. And then that'll go, should be on the 5, John, when this is all said and done then.
I don't see what he could be complaining about on that one. There's the first penalty, a 10-yarder for interference. And there's the second, a 5-yarder for unsportsmanlike conduct. 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. 4 minutes, 2 seconds, 4th quarter. Fort Campbell 27, Monroe County 18. Falcons trying to go to 24 with a touchdown. Same formation with the tight end on the left.
We moved.
Yeah, looked like we did that the last time, actually.
Flag on the play.
I don't know. I think the center was late with it, John, because everybody moved.
Yeah, the left side for sure moved.
I believe you center's the one who missed that count because everybody moved.
I do too. That's like Scott. There was too many moved.
Move us back to the 10-yard line. First and goal. We come back to the line with Eaton, the tight end, on the left side. Backs in the eye. Harlan, Maxey up the middle. That's been the play this drive. He's inside the 5-yard line. There was a good hole. I thought he might make the end zone, but they bring him down. Back of the ball on the 5. Second and goal. So we found a spot in there this drive, knocking off about 5 or 6 yards a carry. It's going to get tough down on this goal line. Harlan keeps it. He ducks in. He may have gotten inside the 5, not by much. Big 76 comes out, 6'2", 272,
Back on
a
the
junior.
5.
No gain on the play.
Third and goal on the 5.
Goal from the 5.
So one of those extra point pass plays that we run might come in handy here. Clock's going to be under 3 minutes. Falcons trail by 9. Same formation.
5 yards here, actually.
Harlan goes under. Second back, Kendall stumbled. He didn't get very much. This is going to be the last play, 4th and goal.
Carry by number 27, Taylor.
And Monroe's going to call timeout, and he's given the signal to kick, or maybe he's asking if they want to kick. 27-18.
He's going to do it.
Going to go for.
We're going to kick.
He's given a signal to kick. Going to try to get one score. Go for the onside kick and see what we can do from there. We're talking it over. Coach Hawkins and Coach White. Of course, Coach Murphy's up here. Let's see. Coach Pettit gave the kick signal again. We may have called a second timeout. That looks like the offense out there right now. Falcons trail 27-18. We've got to score here to have a chance. 2:39 to play in the ball game. The offense is going out. Let's see, Kendall. We've got Vickery in the ball game and the Wishbone. Are we unbalanced either side, Bob?
Left, I think, a little. Well,
Yeah.
no.
Wilson is in tight on the left side. Tight end on the right side. Harlan goes under. Fake it to Vickery. Give it to Wilson. He's going to throw. It's going to be intercepted at the 2-yard line. Number 5 was in the backfield on Wilson. That's Kyle Sobosinski. He intercepted it at the 2. We tackled him. Fort Campbell will have the football. I did hear him ask Neal before the game if he could throw a pass. He's had the injured wrist for several weeks, and he just didn't have any time. Sobosinski was back there all over him. He didn't have time to do anything. Turn it over to Fort Campbell with 2:32. Andrews trying to get it up the middle. I mean, they just stop him right there. We do. That's out there around about the 15-yard line. They took over 1st and 10 on the 9.
Well, the big offside, John, was a rough one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a rough one.
It's on the 15, 2nd down. Clock will go under 2 minutes. Andrews long count, letting it run. That's Smith. He's brought down outside the 35-yard line, or Turner, excuse me, Troy Turner. That'll be a first down for Fort Campbell. So they're out of the hole to their own 38-yard line. Clock runs at 1:40. Fort Campbell 27 and Monroe County 18. Andrews looks at the sideline. This has been their setup the whole game. They line up, looked at the sideline for the play, checked their belts. They have 3 receivers to the right.
I'd have bet money that Andrews would carry this.
He's going to keep it along the left sideline. Get him out. Don't let him go out of bounds. Try to keep him in. He went out of bounds. Sort of just want the clock to run out now, not let them score again. Minute 13. They're inside Monroe County territory to the 44-yard line. Turner, the running back, to the right of Andrews. 3 receivers right. I can tell you what Monroe County would be doing if we were up 27-18, but I don't think Fort Campbell's going to do that. Hand it off to Troy Turner. He's going to take it in.
That's what you was afraid of, John.
Well, like I said, that's the difference in Fort Campbell and Monroe County. That's the difference. So he takes it in with 1:04 to play.
Who was it?
Turner, Troy Turner, same one that scored the last one, I believe.
And it was 44 yards.
Yeah. So that puts Fort Campbell up 33-18. They were going to be embarrassed to go home only beating us 9, so they take another one in. Lassiter with extra point. Very high snap. That's going to be no good.
And we roughed the kicker.
We hit number 11 hard. Somebody did. There's the flag. Let's see.
Well, they've done it all year. They've done it all year. Penalties on extra points, half the distance they go for 2. It's just they do it here.
They're talking to the Fort Campbell coach on the far sideline. Roughing the kicker. So they missed the extra point. So they don't know if they'll kick or go for 2 now. Okay, we've put our defense back in. We may be expecting them to go for 2. Only 64 seconds remaining. Justin Carter goes in late. Now Laster is lining up again to kick the extra point.
Radio people down here wanting to go for 2, John.
Move it up to the 9-yard line, the T instead of the 10. Chris Allen is the holder. Waiting the snap. It's a good, better snap this time. This kick is good. That makes it 34-18, Fort Campbell. So the Fort Campbell Falcons are going to win this game, but they have scored, 20 unanswered. Monroe went up 18-14. What was the time when we scored last, Bob?
8:10 of the third.
8:10 of the third. And Fort Campbell has put up 3 touchdowns since then. They're going to take the win and set up the rematch of last year between 2 private schools, and that's exactly why we shouldn't have privates and publics playing together. Newport Central Catholic has beaten Corbin tonight 26-7, and Fort Campbell's going to earn a berth also in the state championship game, the same 2 teams that played last year. Of course, we'll have at least either St. X or Trinity. That'll be a private school in the 6A, and I don't remember who the other ones are playing in the 6A.
I heard him say a while ago who won that, but I done forgot now, John.
But the Monroe County Falcons will end 12-2.
But you know, with
An outstanding.
3 minutes to go, though, we was in the thick of this thing.
Yep.
If we could have put that in down there.
Yeah, could have taken it in and tried a shot at an onside kick. Don't know what might have happened. Got it down 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. Could not take it in. Lassiter kicking off with Maxey, Wilson, and Kendall deep. He squibs it, filled it at the 33-yard line. That's Eaton. He brings it around the left side, 45, 50 inside Fort Campbell territory. Falcons will have it with 56.7 seconds remaining in the ball game at the Fort Campbell 48-yard line. Yeah, that's right, Bob. You think back, you know what happened.
You look at it, but
first
you
and goal on the 5.
If you just look at the score, you can say, well, they took care of Monroe there easy. But three
yeah.
something to go, we were on the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
Yep.
That's trading by 9.
Split backs behind Justin Harlan. Wilson right and Welch left. Hit Wilson, pitch it to Maxey. They hit him. He's tackled about the 45 of Fort Campbell.
Excuse me, John. Sorry about that.
Bring up 2nd down from the Fort Campbell 45. 35 seconds. Falcons run to the line. Wilson comes to the left. Welch to the right. Harlan quickly under. Pitch it to Kendall. Trying to sweep the left side. Hit at the 42 by Trey Powell. Powell got up a little shaky. Made a good tackle on Tanner. And that will end it 34-18. The Falcons close out at 12-2. And Fort Campbell advances on to the state championship game. Again, to meet the same team they beat last year. They're now 13-1. We'll come back and give you some closing thoughts, the stats as Bob adds them up. Fort Campbell 34.
It's going to take a minute, John. We run 38 plays this age. Didn't realize they was doing that neither.
Coach Bennett did say before the game that there would be a trophy presentation afterward, regardless for both teams. Now the fans do go out on the field to join the players. It's been an outstanding season. It's, even if we don't go in down there, like I said I know what Monroe County would have been doing those last seconds with a 27-18 lead. We would not have attempted to score. The score would have ended 27-18. Fort Campbell obviously chooses to do otherwise. They take it in. Of course, you need to stop them. That's what they would say. They take it in for a touchdown to make it look much more lopsided than it was, 34-18. But a hard-fought game here tonight, as Coach Pettit said. I think off the air last night, he thought that we would be the best team that Fort Campbell has played this year. And we certainly did give them quite a game here this evening. Final score 34-18. It's looking back, they beat Owensboro Catholic last week 48-35. So I guess the other, well, other than Franklin Simpson, the closest game they've had this season. Bob Adele still adding on his stats. We're not going to have National Guard player of the game tonight. Well, I guess we sort of like we did last week. We'll just say it goes to the whole team. We appreciate the National Guard this season for sponsoring the players of the game. And we appreciate them also. They've been having the hospitality room down here for the 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The Falcons have played these home playoff games. It's been quite a season for the Falcons. Closed it out at 12-2. Only the second team in school history to win 12 games. Second team to win a region championship. Let's see, 4 teams now have won a district championship. 2 have won a region. And the Falcons made quite a run to take the Fort Campbell Falcons, down, like Bobby Dale said, down to the last 2 or 3 minutes. We could have got it down to within a score, but not able to take it in. And Fort Campbell spreads that margin up to 34-18.
Yeah, that's it's going to be the what if, John. I mean, and that's what all things. And when you get teams playing games like this, you go back and look. You can't keep from it. That's just the human nature of it. And that's it was a close what if, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's Green saying, what if we'd handled the punt snap last week? Every game's like that. Has those the calls, the plays that if this had gone that way, if this had gone the other way. But I think Coach Pettit, the other coaches are just going to remind them, what a season this has been, the successes they've had, and that. It's hard to tell up here just how hard fought the games are. That's why I always say I miss being down there on the field and getting the full feel of just how the game is going and how hard these young men are playing. These 18 seniors that have led this team. Let me get the list out that's got them by class and I can read them a little bit better. Joseph Eaton, Clint Jenkins, Justin Carter, Cameron Prophet, Toby Turner, Jared Rich, Brad Cornelius, Clint Bybee, Jesse Bowman. Jesse went out with an injury in the first half. He rejoined the team on the sideline. Not sure exactly what his injury was. It appeared to be a hip or thigh when he left the game. Tyler Welch, Mikael High, Garrett Lyon, Nathan Davis, Caleb Maxey, Braden Ward, Justin Harlan, Mason Prophet, and Sheldon Hamilton. Sheldon went out early in the season with the knee injury. I believe he was walking out there tonight without crutches, so he's making some improvement. And we certainly missed him after he went out with his injury earlier in the season, and hope he has a full recovery from that. But it's been a pleasure watching these young men lead this team. Of course, they are the ones that we will not see again next year, but also a fine group of juniors and sophomores that have contributed to the 12-2 season that we have enjoyed this year. As we said last night on the coaches show, I hope especially those freshmen and sophomores have watched the example that has been set by these seniors and the hard work they have put in. And it's that hard work that has brought the success that they have had this year. We certainly wish this group of seniors the very best. They brought a lot of joy to the fans, had a great crowd again tonight, these 4 games. Appreciate the coaches. I don't think we mentioned them at the first of the game. We mentioned Coach Pettit, but his assistants that he always acknowledges for the success that we've had this year. David White, Randy Knuckles, Randy Murphy, Rusty Hawkins, Jordan Hale. They're quite a team. They've worked very well together all this season, and they have led this group of Falcons to this semifinal game this evening. Second half scoring, the Falcons took the lead after trailing 14-12 at halftime, scored with 8:10 to play in the third quarter. Caleb Maxey caught a 19-yard touchdown pass from Justin Harlan. The 2-point conversion was a run that failed. The Falcons led 18-14. From that point on, it was only Fort Campbell that crossed the goal line. With 2:31 to play in the third, Troy Turner, a 51-yard run. Lassiter added the extra point. With 31.6 seconds in the third, Irvin caught a 29-yard, it was a 29-yard run actually by Irvin. 23-yard run by Irvin. Lassiter missed the extra point. And then the final score came with Turner running it in from 44 yards. That was with 1 minute and 4 seconds to play in the ball game. Lassiter made that extra point for the final score, 31-18. That sets up a rematch. Fort Campbell and Newport Central Catholic next week in the state championship game. According to the report we heard, Newport Central Catholic defeated Corbin 26-7. Certainly wish it could have been Monroe and Corbin playing tonight for the public school championship, and then we could have let the privates have their battle and seen who could have won that game. But Corbin goes down. Corbin had gone in tonight 13-0. They'd gone in undefeated. So they end their season 13-1.
John, I hope I've got this. It's when you get so many across through here, it really gets difficult for me. I've got Justin 6 out of 10 passing for 100 and let me get that right there. 129 yards. Yeah, I got it right. And then, but he had a rough night carrying the ball. He lost 23 yards on 14 carries, and they just had so many. Like you said, he had one or two good. He had a 7 there in the second half, but they really got after him there. Most of his was for minus yard. Of course, any quarterback sack comes off from him as a minus.
And two touchdown passes.
Yeah.
Give him, let's see, do you have 20 or 21 coming in tonight?
I don't know.
He'd already passed Daniel, so for the season he had the most touchdown passes in a season.
Kendall caught a pass for 45. Of course, that was a touchdown, and he had 23 rushes for 159 yards. Now I'm saying he got the total in one himself on the rushing.
Yeah.
Maxey didn't do very good the first half, but he carried the ball well the second half.
Yeah.
He had 8 carries for 40 yards there, and he had 44 in the first half. So he had 10 for 44 and caught 2 passes for 26. Wilson is the one that was really, I thought, was just took out of the ball game tonight. I just got him for 1 pass completion for 3 yards, and that was on the
hitch and
pitch or whatever you called it. Garrett Lyons caught 1 pass for 8 yards. So they had 129 yards passing, 222 rushing for 351 yards, and that's I think pretty good offense against a team of that caliber.
Yeah.
We won some games early in the year that we didn't have near that many yards on, and against some teams not near as good as Fort Campbell is there. But the scores up on the board, what counts?
Yep. Outstanding games. As I said, Falcons driving late, down 9, needed some points, couldn't take it in after being first and goal on the 5-yard line. Ended up on 4th down, throwing an interception, trying to run handed it off to Neal. He was trying to throw the ball. Don't think his hand was the big. I don't believe the injured hand was Neal's big problem on that. He just had a lot of pressure.
Well,
his hand right there in his face when he got it.
He even got tackled, but as quick as he throwed it. I had us for 2 interceptions and 1 fumble that we actually lost, and I think they fumbled once and didn't throw any interceptions. We got close 2 or 3 times, but close don't count nothing but horseshoes and hand grenades. But it's just I don't know. You hate to say it comes down, but I mean you look for turning points, and like we said, that seemed like the whole line jumped offside there when it's first and goal on the 5. And of course that put us back to 10, and Maxie carried it right back to the 5 on the next down, so it was 2nd and goal from the 5. But you can't keep from thinking, well, if he started from 5, it'd have been a touchdown. But then they stiffened up there, and man, that linebacker for and we go and look at later on. I mean, when we played Fort Campbell once before down there, they had the good players, and Micah Johnson was one of them. Now he's a big linebacker at UK, and I've told a lot of people that we played them once. And this guy right here,
Josh Carter.
The Carter, that we'll remember that name. That's a well-known name around here. We can remember him, and sure we'll see him playing at the next level.
I believe they're saying he's going to Western.
Well, he can do it. I think he can play there. He's definitely a ball player. I'd like to just know how many tackles he had. He had to be up around close to 15, 20.
Yeah. Good game for the Falcons. Great season for the Falcons. Not sure when the end of the year banquet will be, but certainly invite everybody to come out. And again, as I said earlier tonight, when you see these guys, congratulate them on the fine season that they've had, and come on out, be a part of it next year. We lose a great group of seniors, but we've got some fine underclassmen coming on, and as we said, hopefully these underclassmen have learned a lot by watching these seniors get in that weight room and start preparing for next year.
That's right, and they know what it feels like, and it's like this bunch know what it felt like to lose last year, and I think that was the thing that really helped them go so far this year. They knew that being 2-9, they didn't like it. I mean, I know, the season comes to end for every team except one.
Yeah.
It'll be 6 of them. There'll be 6 classes. But in 2A, there's going to be 1 team left, and now it's down to 2, and, we was down to 4 of them, so it was definitely, you just can't say nothing about how great a season it was.
Yeah. We will have a season-ending coaches show next Thursday, I believe. We were talking to Coach Pettit the other night. We was going to have a coaches show regardless next week, so we'll be back at McDonald's for one last wrap-up, and at that time maybe we will know when the season-ending banquet will be. It's usually on a Sunday afternoon, but we'll let you know hopefully by next Thursday when that will be. Appreciate all of our sponsors again. They've been great bringing the games to you this year.
Go down through them, John, and we'll even see if we can think of the ones that's not even on tonight, and we can't keep telling everybody enough to tell these people. They've won a lot of extra games here too that they've had to sponsor that they didn't plan on, so they need to make some money there so that to pay for the extra games they had to do, the 4 extra games. So
do your Christmas shopping at home. South Central Bank, Bruton Supply, Tri-County Electric, Edmonton State Bank, Pure Drug, Lion Lumber, Quick Shop Market, Tompkinsville Drug, Monroe Health and Rehab, and the Tompkinsville Inn brought the game to you tonight. And we appreciate every one of them. And most of those, you could do some kind of Christmas shopping, if not all of them, and you go right by and say thank you for bringing these games to you this season. Appreciate Russ and Becky back at the station tonight.
It's been a good,
anything else, Bob?
Been a good ride, John. Don't know whether it'll be another next year or not, but this will be hard to beat. For me and you, I'm talking about, but hope to. But have to see how things works out. But this has sure been a nice one.
12-win seasons don't come along too often, and this has been a great one this year. 12-2 to close it out for the Falcons. Coach John Pettit and his crew, we'll talk to him next Thursday night. Bobby Dale, appreciate his help all season. Russ and Becky back at the station. This is John Oscathorpe. The final score, Fort Campbell 34, Monroe County 18. Good night, everybody.